Hey guys, welcome to Module 5 for Social Work 642. This week we're going to take a little bit deeper look into your topics. I know I've spoken to a lot of you guys this week about your research topics, and I think a lot of you are moving toward looking at single subject on yourself, and that is perfectly fine. Like I've told several people this week, it's not about the complexity of the research, it's just that you understand the process. So I think the simpler we make this, the more you understand about the process. So that's important. But continue to work on those topics. I'm going to go through the project approval forms. You should be getting a lot of feedback on those. Be sure to read the feedback, and at the top I'll put approve or disapprove, approve or not approved. So if you get a not approved, you must make revisions and resubmit. Before you resubmit, you can contact me. We can talk about it. If you want to talk about it, we can schedule a time. I'll give you some pretty detailed feedback in there that will hopefully help you make those revisions as well. So just keep that in mind, that the project approval form is it may take a while. It evolves. You can submit multiple times. You submit in Blackboard, same place you submitted originally. It will let you do it again. I've set it up that way. So I'll see your newest version on top every time. Okay. All right. So keep that in mind. So this week we're moving into in your reading, you're going to talk a little bit more about the structured designs and the foundation of research methods. So that really important content this week, so be sure to read the chapter 3 in the Rubin book. The reading is a little light this week, and that is intentional because you guys have your research proposal coming up due in the next module. So I want you guys to have plenty of time to work on that, get your topics refined, nail down your topics, and then work on your research proposal. Because the way this is going to flow is that once we get your topic nailed down, you have approval for your topic, then you start working on your research proposal. And your research proposal is basically the first part of this process. And a lot of you, if you were in the foundation program, this is what you did for your research class up to this point. So the research proposal, if you look under content and then look at the research project folder, all the information about this process is contained within there. So for your research project proposal, where the assignment is listed, there is an attachment there with instructions. So it's pretty detailed in there, explains exactly which sections you need to address. The sections that you will address in your research proposal include your abstract, your introduction, your research question, which is kind of where you're getting that research question in your topic, your approval form. So you kind of can flesh that out. Your literature review, your method section, and your data collection. So basically, this is your plan for completing your research. So, very detailed, measurable information needs to be in this, your method section, your data collection. Now, literature review, I always like to talk about this a little bit because I think sometimes we get a little bit of confusion about the literature review, because say you have a topic and your topic may be sleep and the effect of yoga before sleep, maybe, and you're going to do yoga to see if it helps improve the duration of your sleep. Okay, so just as an example, your literature review is not just about the interplay between the two. A good literature review is taking the reader on a journey. And I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but it's very true. So when, in this particular example, we're talking about sleep and we're talking about yoga. So we need to take the reader through this process and talk about sleep. What is sleep? Get down to the most broad aspect. Why we sleep? We need sleep. It's important to our health. That kind of thing. We talk about yoga, the foundations of yoga, where it came from, how it evolved, that kind of thing. And then you kind of refine it down. And I think of it as an upside down triangle. So you have those topics at the top, and then you're coming down in your journey in explaining. Okay. So when someone reads your research proposal, they should be able to understand about sleep. Just assume they don't know anything. Okay, they're going to understand how sleep works and how important it is. They're going to understand yoga, how it works, how important it is, how they interplay together, why it makes sense for this research to happen, because these two, it makes logical sense that they would come together in this way. Okay, so this is really your sales pitch. This is your way to explain the importance of this, and this plays back into reliability and validity. I know we've hit on that in the past few modules in understanding reliability and validity. So this helps you, make an argument that this research has more validity to it, that it is an important topic, and here's why: because the research says all this. Be sure when you're completing your research, you're using quality sources, peer-reviewed journals, any kind of journal articles. Um, you can use like major data websites, federal government, census data, those kind of things. Things that, and you guys have heard this before, things that are not considered reliable sources are things like, Wikipedia, random websites on the internet that just are like socialwork.com, or, things like that. But, professional organizations, now that is a reliable thing, like the NASW, that's a reliable source. The dictionary, yeah, while it is a standard source, it's not the best idea to quote the dictionary, in for a reliable source. Okay, so just keep those things in mind when you're doing your literature review, because arguably the literature review is one of the most important parts of your research proposal and your overall research project, because as we move through this process, you guys are going to turn this paper in, then we'll start data collection. You'll go through your data collection period, then you will add to your paper, which I'll give you a bunch of feedback on, but you can make changes, and then you will add the discussion in the results section, and that's where we talk about reliability and validity and what actually happened with your research. But this is laying the foundation in this research proposal, so be sure that you are digging down and refining your ideas. Okay, the literature review is a big part of that, and your methods. And I know in the reading we've been talking about different designs, like AB design, ABA design, those kind of things. So that's where you talk about those kind of things in your methods section. And data collection hits more on exactly how you'll be gathering the data, how you're going to make sure that you collect it in a manner that is both reliable and valid. It is ethical and within the realm of the project. So that's kind of the difference between the two, because they're kind of similar, when you think about them. But yeah. So if you guys have questions about the research proposal, I know I've spoke to several of you about your topics. If you have other ideas or concerns, just let me know. If you have questions about the research proposal, definitely reach out. But honestly, guys, once you get your topic, this will go a lot smoother. Picking out your topic is the hardest part. It's just like, putting a label on it is the most difficult part. So once we get over this hump, I think things will go a little bit smoother. And the class is designed to allow you time to complete your research. So one of the biggest parts of the class is completing this research proposal, because it is such a big part, because this is your design basically for your research. And then as far as assignments and things, it'll slow down, and the reading will slow down a little bit to give you time to actually do your data collection. So the class will kind of ebb and flow a little bit, and then we'll kick back up at the end, because we'll have a lot going on at the end, for the final paper and the presentation. So just hang in there. We're going to get through this together, and certainly reach out. I know I've talked to, like I said, I talked to a lot of you guys, but if you're still struggling, don't sit out there and spin your wheels. That's what I'm here for, to help you, guide you through that process. So if during the day is not a good time to meet for you, that's okay. We'll schedule a time in the evening. We'll schedule a time on the weekend. We can make it work. I'm very flexible with that, and we'll talk whenever it's most convenient for you. Okay. All right. Well, if you guys have questions or concerns, just reach out. But enjoy Module 5.